Have you ever thought that helping others is an important and noble thing to do? But have you also thought that your kindness can have unintended results? In life, we are often told to help and support each other. But have you ever wondered if the way you help actually makes things better, or if it hurts both you and the person you are helping? Stoic philosophy teaches us that all actions should come from self-control and reason. When we help others without thinking, without setting clear boundaries, or because of social pressure, we can fall into mental traps we didn't expect. After all, what do you think happens when enthusiasm and ignorance come together? That's right, kindness must come with deep understanding and careful thought. This video series will look at the bad things that can happen when you help other people. We will look at 10 surprising ways it can hurt you. In each lesson, the wisdom of Stoicism will teach us how to help others in a right and meaningful way. For example, we will look at helping with the goal to control and helping inconsistently. Ask yourself, how can I help others without hurting myself or them? Are you ready to face the hard truths about your kindness? Let Stoicism guide you through these lessons. Before we begin, we have a challenge for you. Watch the video all the way through. Each lesson has valuable insights that will help you become a wiser, more effective and safe helper. Please follow and explore with us. Number 1. Overhelping, a way to become dependent. It's common to hear that helping others is a good thing to do. But Stoic philosophy tells us that we should think about everything we do and really understand it. The ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus said, "No one can help you more than you can help yourself." This tells us that being self-reliant and self-disciplined are important skills to have, preventing the receiver from being self-reliant and turning them into someone who needs help. Overtly helping others comes from a desire for acceptance, a sense of guilt, or just the desire to do good. But when we help without giving it much thought, we may hurt ourselves and the people we are trying to help. This can lead to dependency, which takes away others' chances to learn and grow. The relationship between a mother and her child is a great example of overhelping. Imagine a mother who carefully watches over her child from meals to sleep and never lets them do anything on their own. This is out of love for her child and the desire to protect them from all harm, but it has serious long-term effects on the child's future. Because they are always watched over, they miss out on the chance to learn basic self-reliance skills and have a hard time living on their own, even though the mother means well. The mother makes her child weak and dependent without meaning to. This story shows that overhelping not only hurts the person receiving it, but it also puts a lot of responsibility on the person helping to make sure the child can grow up fully and independently. They have to deal with problems and learn important life skills on their own. Epictetus said that only you can help yourself get through hard times. Help others wisely so they can become stronger and more self-reliant. Overhelping not only hurts the person you're helping, it also makes them less able to be self-sufficient and independent. Be a smart and discerning supporter who helps others in a way that benefits them while keeping your own balance and happiness. Too much help is something that many of us do when we want to be kind and helpful. No matter how good our goals are, giving too much help can make someone dependent instead of empowering them. The Stoic philosophy stresses the importance of being strong, independent, and meeting life's challenges head-on. This idea fits in well with that philosophy. We'll talk about how too much help can stop you from growing as a person, why it's important to find a balance, and how to be helpful without making someone dependent. Understanding, overhelping, and what happens when you do it. Why and what it covers. When we help too much, beyond what is needed or helpful, this is called overhelping. It could come from wanting to keep other people from going through hard times or failing. Effects. This habit could make the person dependent on outside help instead of learning how to solve problems on their own. Over time, it could hurt their trust and sense of independence, making them less able to handle problems on their own. How Stoics see problems and how to solve them. Being independent. Stoicism says that you are strong and good from the inside out. In his book Meditations, Marcus Aurelius tells us to see problems as chances to grow. Taking on problems. When we help others too much, we take away their chance to face and solve their own problems, which is important for their personal growth and character building. How to tell. When help is too much possible, signs of overhelping. If the person relies on your help for even small jobs or decisions, that's a sign you may be helping too much. Act of balancing. Give advice or help that makes them want to be independent. If you help someone, think about whether it helps them grow or makes them depending on you. Giving people power through support to promote autonomy. Help people in a way that gives them the tools they need to solve their own problems. Instead of giving them fish, teach them how to fish. Take the time to show someone how to solve a problem instead of solving it for them. Putting limits on. It's important to set limits on how much and how often you can help. Tell other people to take charge of their own lives and only help them when they really need it. Using Stoic wisdom to keep from helping too much. Think about your inner strength. Help other people build up their inner strength and endurance. Share Stoic ideas that stress the importance of developing good character and being brave and wise when meeting life's challenges. Help others with mindfulness. When you help other people, be careful and thoughtful about what you do. Think about whether your help is helping them grow and become independent in the long run, as Epictetus said about knowing what you can control and what you can't. By being aware of and controlling our urges to help too much, we can help others become more resilient and independent. The Stoic way of helping stresses how important it is to give people the tools they need to find their own ways, which will eventually make communities stronger and more self-sufficient. Supporting others without making them dependent on us is not only good for them, but it also fits with the Stoic ideal of developing our own virtue and wisdom in our relationships with others. Number 2. Unexpected results of not setting clear boundaries. Stoic philosophy stresses the importance of self-control and balance. As Epictetus said, we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react. This reminds us that setting clear boundaries in relationships is a way to protect our peace and autonomy. When we don't set boundaries, we let others into our personal space, lose our inner peace, and get involved in problems that aren't necessary, which could have serious consequences. Imagine a worker who is always willing to help co-workers, even if it means sacrificing their own work and personal time. Co-workers start to rely on this help and stop solving their own problems, which makes the worker overworked, stressed, and unable to do their job well in the long term. Have you ever been tired because you didn't know how to say no? If you don't set clear limits, you lose control of your life. Understand this concept. It is not selfish to set clear limits. In fact, it is a way to protect your mental and physical health. Seneca once said, "Don't waste your time on things that don't help you." Setting boundaries helps us use our time and energy wisely, making sure we focus on things that are truly important and meaningful. Most importantly, clear boundaries not only protect you, but also make it possible for others to grow and become self-reliant. Self-control and balance are the keys to a happy and successful life. Please leave a satisfied comment if you agree with our point of view. Helping others is a good thing to do, but without boundaries, it's easy to become overwhelmed and out of sorts. Learn to set boundaries skillfully and firmly so that every time you help others, it will actually help you and those around you. As Epicurus says, know your worth and don't let anyone cross them. Protect your boundaries to keep peace and independence in your life. Number 3. Not taking care of one's own needs. Have you ever thought about whether giving up your own needs to help others really is a good thing in Stoic philosophy? Self-care is important for having a balanced and meaningful life, because when we don't take care of our own needs, we leave ourselves open to being hurt and tired, which can lead to an imbalanced and unbalanced life. Imagine someone who always puts their family's needs first and works hard to make sure everyone is happy and taken care of. This person might skip meals. People who don't get enough sleep and don't take time for themselves are getting worse. Health problems, mental fatigue, and an inability to work well make it impossible for them to continue helping their family and makes them a burden on those they want to help. Another real-life example can be seen at work. An employee who always works late to help co-workers and never says no might get praise and high ratings at first, but over time they feel worn out, stressed, and unable to do their own work well. This not only affects their work performance, but also causes mental and physical health problems. We can't help others successfully and sustainably if we don't take care of our own needs first. Being tired and stressed all the time makes it harder to help others. It is important to know that taking care of yourself is a must if you want to help others in the best way possible. A mother can't take good care of her kids if she's always tired and doesn't have time to rest. A boss can't lead a team well if he's always stressed out and doesn't have time to relax. Have you noticed that when you're tired, you can't help others and end up putting your own needs last? Not only hurts your health, but also makes it harder for you to help other people in the long run. Self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary to stay healthy and full of energy. Helping others is a good thing to do, but if we don't take care of our own needs, we can easily become tired and out of balance. Learn to consistently and skillfully take care of yourself so that every act of kindness you do has real and long-lasting benefits for you and those around you. Meeting your own needs is the basis for helping others in a meaningful way. To follow the teachings of Stoicism, taking care of your own wants is not selfish. It is an important part of living a good life. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic thinkers, said that taking care of ourselves is important because our health affects how well we can contribute to society and do our jobs. We become less strong, more likely to suffer, and less able to make smart choices when we don't take care of our own needs. This lesson talks about why taking care of our physical, mental, and emotional needs is so important, and how ignoring them can make it harder to live by Stoic principles. Not taking care of your health effects. Ignoring your health can cause long-term diseases, tiredness, and a general loss of energy. From a Stoic point of view, the body is a tool that lets us interact with the world and do our jobs. Taking care of our physical health is important for doing our jobs and fulfilling our tasks, as Epictetus said. Regular exercise, a healthy diet, and enough rest are all things that can be done to keep the body in good shape. Putting off mental health effects. Neglecting mental health can lead to worry, anxiety, depression, and problems with thinking and memory. From a Stoic point of view, a calm and clear mind is necessary for clear thinking and mental strength. Marcus Aurelius said that to keep your mind in balance, you should practice awareness and self-reflection. Mindfulness, meditation, and self-reflection can help you deal with stress and clear your thoughts. Not caring about emotional needs, effects, Hiding your feelings or not taking care of your emotional needs can cause mental turmoil, tense relationships, and a lack of ability to connect with others. From a Stoic point of view, feelings are normal, but they should be controlled and understood instead of being ignored. Seneca said that we should understand our feelings in order to use them in a healthy way. Application: write down your feelings in a journal, talk to trusted friends, or, if necessary, get expert help to deal with them. Not focusing on personal growth effects. Ignoring personal growth can lead to stalemate, a lack of direction, and unrealized potential. As a Stoic, one of the most important ideas is that you should always be trying to get better. Epictetus thought that developing our virtues and understanding was important for both individuals and society as a whole. Application: learn new things all the time, make goals for yourself, and look for chances to grow and improve. Not putting limits on things' effects. If we don't set limits, we might feel too busy, unable to manage our time and energy well. From a Stoic point of view, setting limits is important for keeping our peace and making good use of our resources. Marcus Aurelius told us to be smart about how we spend our time and energy. Learn to say no, set priorities, and give yourself time to rest and take care of yourself without feeling guilty. Stoic ideas about how to live a good and useful life are at odds with neglecting self-care. Taking care of our physical, mental, and social needs makes it easier for us to live in harmony with nature and make a positive difference in the world. Self-care is not a luxury. It is a necessary habit for maintaining the values that Stoicism promotes. Self-care is an important habit that you should develop because it will help you build a life with meaning, strength, and peace. Number 4, helping under social pressure, the dangerous temptation. Stoicism always tells people to live a sensible, self-controlled life and not give in to outside forces, but the fear of being watched and judged by others can make you constantly give up your own needs and eagerly help others. Imagine an office worker who is always willing to put in extra hours and do extra work because he doesn't want to be seen as lazy or unmotivated. At first, he may be praised and admired, but over time he gets tired, stressed, and lacks the energy to do his work well. This not only hurts his mental and physical health, but it also lowers the quality of his work. Mahatma Gandhi, a politician, once said, "Truth never hurts a cause." He meant that helping others just to please others is a form of deceit because we act not out of sincerity, but out of fear. When we help just to please others, we lose our authenticity, and the people we help don't get real help. Remember this: helping others is a good thing to do, but do it out of sincerity, not because of social pressure. Helping others because you feel like you have to hurts you and lowers the value of what you're doing. We need to learn to say no and live by our true values. Please share this information in the comments area below to push yourself to do it. Remember that what makes us happy doesn't depend on what happens to us, but on how we handle it. What happens? Do what you can and want to do, so that every action you take has real and long-lasting benefits for you and those around you. Living a free and honest life without giving in to social pressure is the only way to find true happiness and peace. Number 5. The dark side of goodness. Giving money without limits to help. When you lend someone money, did you really think about what would happen? Giving or lending money without thinking about your own financial situation or the person's real needs is called helping financially without restraint. According to Stoic philosophy, all actions should come from reason and self-control. A wise person once said, "A wealthy person is not one who has much, but one who needs little." This reminds us that wise financial management is important for keeping life in balance and allowing people to make their own decisions. Sometimes people give money to others without thinking it through first, which can have bad effects on both the giver and the recipient. For example, if a friend is having money problems and you decide to lend them a lot of money without giving it much thought, you might feel good about helping your friend at first. But if you don't have a clear financial plan, that loan could put you in financial trouble later on. When we give money to others without planning, we not only hurt ourselves, but we also risk making them dependent on our help, which means they might stop looking for solutions to their own problems. Have you ever felt bad about lending someone money without giving it much thought? Do you know that giving money without planning can hurt both you and the person you're helping? We need to learn to think carefully before we give money. Making sure that the things we do have real, long-lasting effects on other people is a good thing. Helping others is a good thing, but it should be done wisely. Set clear rules and limits for financial help. You can't help others if you're having a hard time yourself, so make sure your finances are stable to keep your independence and peace of mind. Most importantly, only help others when you can ensure that your goodwill brings true benefits to both you and those around you. That's why wise financial management not only helps you keep your independence, but also lets you help others effectively and sustainably. To help us share these valuable lessons with more people, please like and share this video. Each share is a small but meaningful action, just like the lessons that Stoicism teaches. Don't forget that Lesson 6 is waiting for you in the next part. Let's look at and follow these timeless pieces of advice. Number 6. Helping without ability. Misguided good intentions. Imagine that you are a helpful friend who is always willing to help. Your friend gets sick one day, but instead of telling them to see a doctor, you confidently give them medical advice even though you don't know much about it. As a result, your friend's situation gets worse. This is a great example of having the wrong idea about what's best. In a different story from the tech industry, a new coder who wants to help tries to fix bugs in a very important project. He doesn't fully understand the system, but doesn't want to turn down the job, but his efforts end up making the problem worse, which causes delays and big losses for the company. Socrates, a philosopher, once said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing." This reminds us of how important it is to know what we don't know. Helping someone without being able to does more harm than good and makes the help less valuable. Ask yourself, have you ever been in a position where you couldn't help? Sometimes the best thing to do is to know when to refuse help and point others in the right direction. Helping others is a good thing to do, but we need to know what we can do. If you're not sure you can do something, don't be afraid to say no. Instead, ask for help from people who know what they're doing and encourage others to do the same. This way, we not only protect ourselves, but also make sure that our help is meaningful and helpful. According to Stoic philosophy, we learn that wisdom is not only in helping others, but also in knowing when not to help. Do everything you do responsibly and wisely, so that it benefits you and those around you in the long run. Helping other people is a normal and good thing to want to do in life. A lot of the time, we see it as our moral role or a way to reach our own goals. But wanting to help can sometimes lead to bad decisions, especially if we don't have the right skills, tools, or knowledge to really help. When this happens, people with good goals may do more harm than good by accident. The Stoic theory says that we should be wise and careful in everything we do, even when we're trying to help other people. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius told us to act in accordance with nature, which means we should be aware of what we can do and what other people really need. This lesson talks about how to make sure that our good goals are in line with common sense, so that our desire to help is actually helpful and not accidentally harmful. Check out what you can and can't do. It's important to think about your own skills and resources before giving help. Think about whether you have the skills, knowledge, or resources to help effectively. Realizing your weaknesses is not a sign of weakness. It's the first step toward getting responsible and useful help. The Stoics thought that people should know their own skills and weaknesses so that they wouldn't go too far and have bad results. Imagine that a friend is having trouble with their mental health. Even if you mean well, your help might not be what they need if you are not a trained professional. Instead, it might be better to point them in the direction of a skilled therapist. Learn to understand what other people want and need. What we think other people need may not always match up with what they really want or need. Before you act, it's important to listen and understand their point of view. This kind of empathy makes sure that our help is really for their benefit and not just because we want to or because we think it's right. Giving someone help they haven't asked for could come off as condescending or annoying. Instead, ask them how you can help and listen to what they say, even if it means taking a step back. Think about the possible outcomes. Think about what might happen if you do what you want to do. People who want to help are usually good intentions, but sometimes what happens is bad or doesn't help. Thinking about the effects your help might have helps you make better, more informed choices. It might seem helpful to lend money to a friend who is having money problems, but if it leads to bad spending habits, it could make their situation worse in the long run. Give long-term help more weight than quick fixes. It can be tempting to look for quick fixes, but long-term solutions are often needed for long-term help. Instead of giving short-term help, you should focus on giving people the tools they need to become self-sufficient and strong when problems arise. Instead of just giving someone food when they are hungry, you could help them find a job or professional training that will help them in the long run. Ask for help and collaboration. If you're not sure what to do, don't be afraid to ask for help from people who are better able to help. Working together and talking with professionals or people who have knowledge in the area can make your help more useful. It also makes sure that you're making a good contribution without asking too much of yourself. Example: it's great to volunteer for a cause you care about, but working with established groups can give you the structure and knowledge you need to make a bigger difference. Stoics believe that the best way to help others is to be wise, have understanding, and know yourself. We can make sure that our good intentions lead to good results by being aware of our flaws, knowing what other people really need, and thinking about the bigger picture of what we're doing. Helping others is a good thing to do, but it needs to be led by the values of wisdom and duty to really be helpful. Number 7. Putting off personal problems by helping others. Let's look at the story of Peter, an IT specialist at a tech company who is always happy to help others. He spends a lot of time helping co-workers and friends and is always willing to work extra hours to help others. But Peter has a secret. He's having trouble with personal issues and is stressed out and unsure how to solve them. He finds that helping others makes him feel good and temporarily forgets about his own problems. But is this really a good solution, or is it just a way to avoid facing reality? According to Stoic philosophy, facing oneself and resolving personal issues are essential to achieving inner peace. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Don't waste time thinking about how to have another life. Make the most of the one you are living." He meant that people who help others instead of dealing with their own problems often do so out of fear and a desire to avoid pain. Peter may think he is doing a good thing, but he is really avoiding the truth by helping other people so much that he doesn't have time or mental space to deal with his own problems. This can cause stress that lasts for a long time, making the problem even worse. It's good to help other people, but don't use it as an excuse to avoid your own problems. Take some time to think about yourself and your problems. As Marcus Aurelius said, the quality of your thoughts determines the happiness of your life. Learn to face your problems with courage and honesty, so that every act of helping others comes from genuine goodwill and your actual ability. Only when we truly face and solve our problems can we truly help others and add real value. Please leave a satisfied comment if you agree with our opinion. Number 8. What happens when you can't focus? Listening is hard to do these days because we are so busy with work and other things that we need to do. Haven't you ever felt like the person across from you is just hearing what you say but not really understanding? Listening without thinking is not only careless, but it can also have very bad results. There are many times when people don't really listen. Imagine you are in a crucial meeting and a coworker keeps interrupting you without knowing what you're saying. This not only makes you angry, but it also slows down work and leads to confusion. When we don't listen, we miss the chance to learn, which can hurt our relationships with other people. Stephen Vai is the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Someone once said that most people don't listen to understand, they listen to respond. This shows that real listening takes focus and a genuine desire to understand others, not just waiting for our turn to speak. One more example is in the family. A child tries to talk to their parents about problems at school, but their parents are too busy with work or electronics to respond. This makes the child feel ignored and unimportant, which can lead to mental health problems in the future. Have you ever thought about how often you don't listen to other people? How does this affect your relationships? According to Stoic philosophy, if we don't listen, we miss important cues from other people, which means our help is useless and even damaging. Listening is a key part of being able to control yourself and think clearly. Epicurus once said that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. This reminds us that listening is more than just hearing words. It's also about knowing how people feel and what they're thinking. Pay close attention and honestly hear what the other person is saying. Put yourself in their shoes and try to understand what they really want to say. Only then can we give them good advice and do things that will help them in life. True listening is an important skill that helps us build relationships and help others. Remember that listening is more than just hearing. Learn more, understand more, and help others in the best way possible. Number 9. Helping with the intent to control, distorted kindness. Helping with the goal of controlling comes from a lack of self-confidence and a desire to keep power. For example, a boss who always helps their employees and doesn't let them solve problems on their own might make the employees feel safe and supported at first, but over time they become dependent and lose their independence. This kind of control doesn't help workers grow. Instead, it makes them less free and creative. Too much help from parents to keep control is another example of this in family relationships. Parents may plan everything for their kids, from learning to daily activities, without letting them make their own choices. This not only makes the kids less independent, but it also causes problems and stress in the family. Seneca, a philosopher, once said that a strong person doesn't need to control others, they control themselves. This emphasizes that true control doesn't come from manipulating others, but from being able to control oneself. When we help someone with the intent to control them, we hurt them and show that we don't trust ourselves or are insecure. Helping others is a good thing to do, but it should be done honestly and without any other goals. Do not use your help to control or manipulate others. Instead, believe in their abilities and encourage them to be independent. As Epictetus said, "Do not try to control what is not within your power. Control yourself and let others develop freely. Only then will your help truly benefit you and those around you in the long term." As we try to be kind and helpful, it's easy to cross the thin line between really helping and being bossy. What starts out as a kind act can easily turn into a way for the person who did it to control the person who received the help. This skewed kind of kindness not only takes away the people we want to help their freedom, but it can also hurt relationships and make things worse. As a philosophy that focuses on virtue and knowledge, Stoicism can help us figure out how to walk this fine line. By being aware of why we do what we do and making sure it's out of true kindness and not a need to be in charge, we can give help that really gives others power. This lesson talks about distorted kindness and how to stay away from it when we're with other people. Find out why you are really helping. Think about the reason you want to assist someone. Is it because you really want them to count on you, or because you care about their well-being so much? Stoicism tells us to be good and honest in our actions. Kindness that comes from the heart has no hidden agendas. Take the example of a friend giving you advice without being asked. It's not true kindness if the person giving the advice wants to feel better about themselves or have their friend depend on them. Instead, help should only be given when asked for, or in a way that doesn't invade the other person's privacy. Give people power instead of slavery. True help should give the receiver more power, making them more capable and independent. When you help with the goal of controlling, you often end up making someone dependent. Stoics think that people should be taught to be self-sufficient and strong. Giving money to a friend who needs it should be done with the goal of helping them become financially stable, not making them permanently reliant on your help. Respect your freedom and boundaries. Respecting other people's rights and limits is very important. Giving someone help shouldn't come with conditions or the idea that you should be able to decide what they do. The Stoic way of thinking tells us to notice and respect other people's choices. When a parent helps their adult child choose a job, they should give advice and support without trying to control the child's choices or life path. Think about your need to be in charge. Look at why you feel like you need to control other people through your acts of kindness. We often do this because we're afraid or want to feel important. Stoicism teaches us to be happy and safe inside ourselves instead of trying to control other people to get those things. It might be time to think about your need for control and how you can offer support without expecting people to follow your advice if you often find yourself helping others and getting angry when they don't. Train yourself to have real compassion and distance. Try to help others from a place of true compassion, where your actions are driven only by the desire to help and not by the need to be in charge. At the same time, practice distance and know that once you offer help, you can't control how things turn out. This fits with the Stoic idea that we should focus on what we can change and let go of what we can't. Example: if you want to help a co-worker with a project, don't get attached to their success or how they use your help. Instead, let them use it however they see fit. Helping other people is a good thing. To do that can make you feel good and build strong relationships. Kindness loses its value when it is used to control others, though, and turns into a tool for manipulation. We can make sure our acts of kindness stay pure and helpful by thinking about why we do them, respecting other people's rights, and giving help that frees rather than enslaves. Stoicism tells us that being truly good means being honest and wise, and making real connections with other people that make us and them better. Number 10. Helping inconsistently. The consequences of lack of steadiness. Did you know that helping people in different ways goes against the Stoic philosophy and makes people less likely to trust you? The Stoic principle is that kindness must come with responsibility and consistency. It was Epictetus who said that stability and regularity are the most important things in life. A real-life case to help you understand behavior. Imagine a boss who helps his employees a lot, but only when he doesn't have a lot to do. When he stops helping them when they need it most, they feel lost and don't know how to solve their problems. This lack of consistency not only hurts their work, but it also brings down the morale of the whole team. Abraham Lincoln once said, "Be consistent in the little things, for that is the foundation of trust." Stoic philosophy says that helping others shouldn't be a one-time thing. It takes ongoing efforts to build trust and respect. One of the best traits is being consistent. Marcus Aurelius said, "What matters is not what you do, but how you do it." We should be stable and consistent in everything we do, especially when we're helping other people. Ask yourself, do you constantly help other people? What can you do to get better? Make sure that your actions are consistent and that your help is not just a one-time thing. Helping others is a responsibility that must be upheld over and over again. Only then will our help truly add value and have long-lasting effects on us and those around us. Follow the Stoic philosophy. Being consistent and stable in everything you do is important. Helping others is a good thing to do, but if you don't do it right, it can hurt you too. We've looked at 10 bad ways that helping can be damaging. Helping sometimes with the goal of controlling. Helping when you can't help because of social pressure. Not setting clear limits. Ignoring your own needs. Not really listening and being there to help you avoid dealing with your issues. Know these ways to help, and if you find yourself doing them, stop. Don't let your kindness cause needless harm. Let the knowledge of Stoicism help you help in a smart and effective way. Click like and leave a comment with your thoughts or questions about Stoicism or your own life if you think these messages are helpful. Also, don't forget to share this video with your friends who are also looking for peace and strength within themselves. If you're not already a member of our community, click subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss any of the great videos we share in the future.